folks, and welcome back. I hope you're all safe in this hot weather. This week's quick build is for the desk. And from the off I'm having problems with this number 52 4-flanged plate. This Meccano is from pre-World War II and has had a lot of play in its time. Both end sections have been warped at some point and need to be gently coaxed back into alignment. There's not much to this desk build, only 11 parts. A couple of number 2 perforated strips, 4 number 5s, a number 52 4-flanged plate, 2 number 125 reverse angle strips, and 2 126A flat trunnions. And that's the other end being encouraged to go back into shape. So what's the purpose of the model? Like most of this set, it's just play, that's all. Meccano from this period is so different to the later sets. A lot of what I see are models that have a value that is more based on play through mimicking daily life compared to engineering. This first becomes apparent in the early 1930 manuals and lasts through to post-war early 1950s. I think the model does a good job of being any type of desk you want it to be. And the expansion to this model is the roll top desk, which is one of my first scripts I wrote for Patreon and will be appearing on YouTube in another 4 months or so. But one type of desk that this would represent is the school desk. So here's a little brief history of the school desk, mainly because the heat has sapped my brain's ability to write today. The school desk is an American invention, and that surprised me. It was invented in 1880 by John Lowley in the town of Sydney, Ohio, and was called the fashion desk. It gathered momentum across America as the country pushed for formal education in the latter part of the 19th century. This drive came after the Revolution, and at the time America had one of the highest literacy rates in the world, mainly due to the push by the government as it emphasised the importance and value of a good education. The founding fathers understood the importance that education gave, not just to the person, who could be free to read and understand what was being said to them, but to the nation. That value in education allowed America to stand and fight for values that other nations didn't allow. That freedom has helped make the nation what it is now. Formal education was to start in Britain in 1811 with the establishment of the National Schools Programme, as the Industrial Revolution drove a need for better education amongst school children coming into the workforce. And what was understood by John Lowley was the importance of allowing each child an area to study that was their own, controlled by them, an area in which nobody else, in theory, could interrupt their work. Before that, long lecture benches had been the only option, if you had an education at all. The design changed slowly as different needs were addressed, from storage for books to collapsible desks to allow for more space. But either way, formal education was here to stay. Love it or loathe it, education is the keystone that builds our nations, for better or worse, depending on how open the nation is for teaching the whole truth. We need to be taught. Without it, we return to the Dark Ages, and the lights go out again. This Sunday we're exploring the history of the Dockyard Crane, the last of the Crane multi-kit builds, on YouTube, and Bluebird, the land speed record car, on Patreon. So take care folks, and I'll see you on Saturday.